YouTube. What's up, baby? We back in this thing again with another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're gonna be talking about that Venom, There Be Carnage review. So, you already know how this goes. We got the premise, we got the 3 favorite scenes, we got the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So, I'm started off by saying, I like Venom as a anti-hero. His character has always been a shining star in my eyes. You know, he just was one of those cool dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like Deadpool, like Spawn. You know what I'm saying? Like Blade. It just back in the day, I'd always, you know what I'm saying? If they told me who you want to be, Peter, you want to be Spider-Man, or you want to be Venom, I would have chose Venom, and it would have been more because of the suit. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I always had respect for Venom. Always loved him in the cartoons. Loved his portrayals in games. When we got to see him on the big screen, when they had him in the Tobey Maguire, movies back in the day. It was cool. Like to me, it was cool. Like I didn't really have no problem with it. I know, dude gets backlash for the Venom back in the day, but I still think it was okay. You know what I'm saying? And I still honestly think that the best Spider-Man movies were the trilogy back in the day with Tobey Maguire. So, but anyways, man, I always wanted to have Venom in a live action movie. Got him back in a live action movie back in the past. It sucked that he had died like really quickly in the Tobey Maguire movie, because I want, that's a villain that should last. You know what I'm saying? Should be for a couple of movies. But then finally we had got Venom, and that movie to me was cool as well. Venom being the forefront of the movie. Tom Hardy, I'm taking the role of Venom. I think that it was a good mix. It definitely was a good mix. I definitely did like that movie. I know some people didn't like it, and some people did. But to me, if I was to grade that movie, to me, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And I've already seen it a few times, and I go back to watch it here and there. You know what I'm saying? Because it just was something that I enjoyed, So, being that Venom Let There Be Carnage was going to have Carnage in it, and I've been waiting to have a Carnage in a live action movie. I was hyped for this movie, bro. And, it sucked, seeing the trailers and hearing the rumors. And then, during this whole, pandemic, it pushed a lot of movies back, and that was one of the movies that I pushed back, Venom Let There Be Carnage. So that was always a sucky situation, you know what I'm saying? But eventually it finally came out, and I didn't see it right away, of course. Hence is the reason why I'm doing the review now. But it was just released not too long ago. And so I bought it. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and throw in let's get to the review. So the premise of this movie is you have Venom and Tom Hardy, and of course their bond has grown so much more from the first movie. They've really become like brothers per se, you know what I'm saying? And what ends up happening is you have a situation in which Tom Hardy ends up finding out that his ex, Annie, is going to be getting married to Dr. Dan. And when he hears that, kind of throws him into a bad mood. Even Venom feels for him because, Venom, even though he's a symbiote, he's an alien per se, he still has a soul, a heart, you know what I'm saying? And being that he's connected to Tom Hardy's character, you know what I'm saying? Like, he feels the emotion. He cares for Tom Hardy, you know what I'm saying? Just as Tom Hardy would care for himself. So when that happens, of course, Tom Hardy's character is heartbroken, and Venom and him get into a little bit of a fight, and they split up. And Venom gets to live his life for a little bit. Tom Hardy gets to live his life for a little bit. But before that altercation had happened, Tom Hardy went to go talk to Cletus Cassidy because Cletus Cassidy likes Tom Hardy, and he's really the one that he reveals his secrets to. And his whole thing was, look, I will give you everything you want, but you gotta send a message out for me. And Tom Hardy's character was like, why would I do that? And eventually he comes around and he's like, you know what, okay, I'll do it. You're gonna give me the breaking news that I need from you. It'll put me back on top. So I'll do it. Now, as he's going to leave and put the word in that Cletus Cassidy's character wanted into the newspaper, so that way he could send a message to his old girlfriend, Shriek, Venom stops him in his tracks right before they're about to leave the holding cell, and he tells him to look in Cletus Cassidy's room. And he looks in the room. He doesn't notice anything, but of course Venom does. And Venom basically solves the case of where Cletus Cassidy has hid these bodies when he committed these murders. So now you have it that Tom Hardy doesn't even have to put what Cletus Cassidy requested for him to put in the paper in order for him to get the information that he wanted. Now he just knows automatically the dude's dirt. So he ends up solving the case. The police end up finding the bodies, and Cletus Cassidy is now going to be put on his deathbed. And right before that happens, Cletus Cassidy calls up Tom Hardy's character and tells him, hey, you're the one that basically signed my death certificate. So it's only right that you hold the door open for me. Come see me one more last time. Tom Hardy's character goes there. Cletus Cassidy ends up revving Tom Hardy's engine up by making him mad, per se. And not only did he make Tom Hardy's characters mad, but he made Venom mad as well. So you have a scene where Venom starts, beating up Cletus Cassidy, and Cletus Cassidy is like, yo, like, you've been hiding something from me. And he bites Tom Hardy's hand, and the symbiote is somewhat in his blood. So Woody Harrelson is like, Woody Harrelson, well, that is really his name, but Cletus Cassidy is like, I've tasted blood before, and this is not blood. And he looks at the blood, and it's moving around. He quickly throws it in his mouth, knowing that whatever it is that just, attacked him would possibly be able to, he'd possibly be able to gain it within himself, So, Tom Hardy and Venom leave. And what ends up happening is, as Cletus Cassidy is on his, about to receive the injection for his death, the symbiote DNA that he ingested activates, and he becomes Carnage. And then you have Carnage, and you have Venom. Basically getting into a big fight right at the end, you know. So that is basically the premise of this movie. Now, to me, I think this movie was fairly good. I think that there could have been more footage of Tom Hardy being Venom rather than them two splitting up. That was a cool, interesting sight to see, but to me, I feel like it should have been there just should have been more moments as Tom Hardy being Venom. That's all I can say. I feel like there needed to be more carnage in this movie as well. When Cletus Cassidy was seen on the screen, it was just basically Cletus Cassidy. It was not really carnage until certain points, and when they showed it, it still really wasn't enough. Even, you know, and if they didn't have that big climactic fighting scene at the end between, you know, Venom and Carnage, then you would have rarely have seen Carnage within this movie. So, but you know, those are really my only complaints about it. I would have loved to seen Venom more. I would have loved to seen Carnage more. But yeah, it had a lot of good stuff to me. Some of the fighting was good, as far as at the end, you know, when they meet up and they fight. There wasn't like really too much fighting in between or before. It was just like small stuff, you know, like Venom taking down thugs, or you know, when Cletus Cassidy was trying to escape the prison that he was in, and Carnage took over for him. He, you know, came out and fought, you know, regular police officers and stuff like that. So it wasn't really too much heavy fighting. So I wish there was more fighting, you know what I'm saying? Like fighting that matters, you know what I'm saying? These are two symbiotes. These are two aliens. They shouldn't be fighting humans. They should be either fighting other symbiotes, other heroes, you know, just whatever it may be. The depiction of Carnage in here, it's cool. The depiction of Cletus Cassidy in here, it was okay. It could have been more of the rated R version of him, because I feel like that's the Cletus Cassidy that we know. We know him to be a crazy individual, not really to have fallen in love and all this stuff like that, like how it ended up being on the movie. But all in all, man, I think this movie was okay, for sure, man. So some of my favorite scenes from this movie would basically be all of the banter between Tom Hardy and Venom. Whenever Venom would come out and he would see his head, like, look, and it would be looking back and talking to Tom Hardy, bro. It just the chemistry, and it's funny because it's Tom Hardy playing Venom, and then Tom Hardy being you know, Eddie Brock and stuff like that. So it just he's talking to himself, like, literally, but it feels like that's another, you know, actor. And of course the chemistry is gonna be perfect when you're playing it, you know, you're talking to yourself, bro. So but I just love the chemistry of them. And I love Venom, and I love how they do his voice, and just I love it. So all the scenes of them bantering back and forth made me laugh, and it was fun. Another one of my favorite scenes would be when Venom and Eddie separated, and Venom goes to like this party, bro, and it wasn't nothing extraordinary, but it was just funny to see Venom in that setting. You know what I'm saying? So that, and I guess my last favorite scene would just be, you know, the fight at the end. The fight while they were in the church. It was pretty cool. It's pretty decent. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So for me, I think I'm gonna give this movie a 7.5. Like I said, Venom 1, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Venom Let There Be Carnage, I think I'll give it a 7.5, which is a little bit less. But I think this movie definitely did its job, and it's warranted to have its third movie. And hopefully we can get a Carnage spinoff, you know what I'm saying, as well. So yeah, if you guys seen this movie, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and until next time.